Hey guys, it's Try here, back with another video, and today we are reviewing another Acceleracers item. Last time we reviewed Rolling Thunder. This time we have the Crawler Hyperpod. From, this Hyperpod first appeared in the Junk Realm and Breaking Point. It's not really much to talk about with this thing. Taro Katano used it to get across the junk piles. There's not much to this. It's just a hyperpod. Didn't get that much screen time now that you think about it. It only appeared in 2 realms for less than a minute in each one. Now let's move on to what it looks like. It's purple, obviously. It's got these crawling arms, hence the name climbing arms, hence the name Climber Hyperpod. Well, really here, the most prominent color are purple and orange. Up here are the pipes, which please pardon, bear with me. These pieces are damaged and have not stood the test of time very well. So these vents would be a little bigger, but you get the point. You can see some, like, what would be an exhaust down here. You just got cruddy little drive-along wheels. Up back here, you have a few fins, and what would be back here is the thing that starts it. Opening up that hatch really reveals the vent that you drive up into to get your car set. But we'll get to that shortly. On the side, it's identical, and now here's the real part of the Hyperpod: these climber legs, which are what carries your car, which is what carries your car. Well, really here, the most prominent color are purple and orange. Up here are the pipes, which please pardon, bear with me. These pieces are damaged and have not stood the test of time very well. So these vents would be a little bigger, but you get the point. You can see some, like, what would be an exhaust down here. You just got cruddy little drive-along wheels. Up back here, you have a few fins, and what would be back here is the thing that starts it. Opening up that hatch really reveals the vent that you drive up into to get your car set. But we'll get to that shortly. On the side, it's identical, and now here's the real part of the Hyperpod: these climber legs, which are what carries your car, which is what carries your car. On the base, there's not that much, just some copyright information of 2005 Mattel China and a serial recall number. Over here you have the battery compartment, which do not worry about, which I loaded it already. It's pretty easy on the batteries, they'll go for a long time. Over here you have your on-off switch, which I'll flick on for you. And we are ready to roll. The real part of this are the crawler legs, which, well, this thing doesn't have batteries in right now, so you can't really see it that good. But it would, like, crawl your car along like this and get up and over obstacles with ease. You get it. Now let's get to the demonstration part, shall we? We're gonna take our lovely little Dior. We're gonna take our lovely little Dior 2, and he's gonna be our test model today. To start your climbing Hyperpod adventures, all you have to do is drive your little lovely Hot Wheels car right up this ramp. As you see a little lever or switch or whatever you want to call it will lock you in, and all you have to do to start your climbing adventures is shut this flap right here, and you're off. Let's see how the Climber Hyperpod does. Quite well, actually, and it can tackle quite a few terrains. We'll be around momentarily to do some tests. First, let's see how it handles a single box. As you can see, the climber arms get it over, but here's the #1 problem with the Hyperpod right here. Sometimes these climber claws will not grip the item, and then it just quits and Yeah, gets stuck. And then, yeah, just leaves. Just quit. And then sometimes an item's just way too big. But the Climber Hyperpod will work well on a climbing-like structure, or like that's like a stairway, as seen here. It kind of struggles, but it will get over eventually. If you want to put it up on one side leg like this, it'll also do good. Works well. That's all I can really show and talk about for this Hyperpod. It's a shame because this Hyperpod, there's more it can't do than more than what it can do. This out of the three motorized Hyperpods of the Dragster, the Climber, and the Crawler, I say this is the worst one that you can buy, considering, and that's why it is the cheapest on the secondary market. If you want a motorized Hyperpod, I would just say spend the extra $60, considering this is worth like $50. Spend the extra $50 and get like spend $100 to get like the Dragster Hyperpod. When you can just have more fun with that one. It's just more fun, I feel, and it can do so much. It can do so much stuff. This one can't really do much. It's kind of crippled. It gets stuck on a lot of things. The legs are kind of a liability sometimes.